this caution tape and these barricades, making sure that people don't get near this. I did a little shopping, this plastic bag, proof of my purchase. But next week, Bexley City Council could vote to ban the plastic in the city. We're talking about 5 vehicles spread all over this area. I want you to take a look at the first vehicle. You can see that it crashed into this cornfield right behind me, and you can see the path that that vehicle caused. It's cold out here. It's cold, and that wind is not making it feel any better. I confronted Trustee Chair Melanie Lanahan for answers. Do you have anything to say to these people? So the sirens actually just started going off probably about 2 minutes ago. People feeling good, dancing, and so check this lady out. She has some of the best moves. Check this lady out. She got some of the best moves. This is the talk of town, and these barriers are making sure that no one gets close to this building, which used to be an old store. Walk with me over here. You can see the 4th vehicle right here, heavy damage to the front passenger side. So forceful, this impact, the wheel torn off. Right now, law enforcement doing their part to keep impaired drivers off the roads. Same thing for a mom I talked to earlier today. An impaired driver took her son away from her, causing a life of pain, and now she wants all of you to make better choices. Take a good look at this young man. His name is Joey Cruey. He lived for only 18 years. The high school senior was killed in a car crash by a woman who was high after huffing a can of compressed air.
She hit them at 78 plus miles an hour head on, driver to driver. My son's seatbelt was cut from the wreckage and he was ejected at the back window where he broke his neck and he died.
That was in September of 2010. Joey's mom, Laura, holds tight to this class photo her son took before he died.
The guidance counselor brought Joey's pictures in. We didn't know. So these are the last pictures of Joey.
To get through the pain, Laura Cruey works with Mothers Against Drunk Driving, sharing her son's story to spare other families her pain.
And I started out with Joey's picture smiling like this to the car crash with him laying on the ground covered by his white sheet with his wallet on his chest to identify who he is.
Impaired driving is always a concern, especially on holiday weekends. According to the Ohio State Highway Patrol, in Franklin County, there were 16 OVI-related fatal crashes in 2017. 26 a year later. This weekend, law enforcement will be present, stepping up patrols and holding sobriety checkpoints. If you're going to celebrate, all this mom wants is for you to have a plan.
Somebody pick the short straw and be the DD. Take turns. Use the local transportation, your taxis, your Ubers, your Lyfts. You know, if you can't plan ahead, if you can't be the DD and you can't do any of those, then party at home. Important reminders from that mom. Now, this checkpoint will last until around 12:30 in the morning. After that, law enforcement throughout Central Ohio, they will be on the roads watching out for those impaired drivers. And that mom, you heard from her. If you're going to be out this entire weekend having any celebrations, just make sure that you make some smart choices. We're live in Hilliard tonight. I'm Bryant Maddrick, ABC 6 News.
My body is very sore.
On the phone, I talk with Elizabeth Moore, a woman lucky to be alive. Saturday morning, just before 8, Columbus police say she was driving south on I-71 between Dublin, Granville, and Morse Roads when she hydroplaned because of rainy conditions.
When I hydroplaned, my shoulder hit the window, then my head hit the window, and I started to black out a little bit. And I kept saying, absolutely not. I've got friends and family, and I've got these kids, and I'm not leaving. I cannot black out. I can't pass out.
Moore's van flipped and slid into a creek. She was trapped.
Water was rushing in on my side, so it was very scary not being able to get out.
The only thing on her mind was survival.
You know, I just thought, God, please let somebody find me.
Someone did. Moore credits her guardian angels. Another driver who witnessed the crash called police.
It was so far off that we probably wouldn't have saw it without the witness helping us out.
Get it open,
This video from Columbus Police shows Officer Jason Pinnerwood talking and comforting Moore until fire personnel arrived to free her.
You can just wait there, ma'am. Fire's just pulling out now, okay? We'll get you out.
It was good to be there, to be able to help her, let her know that the fire department was on their way and that they're going to be able to get her out of her car since she was still trapped in it.
He was all I had right then and there to tell me, like, hey, just hold on, like they're coming, like it's okay.
It was okay, and this mom thanks the people who gave her a second chance.
I'm here, I'm alive, I'm able to, you know, hug my kids, and I'm thankful for that.
Bryant, how's she doing tonight?
Well, Stacia Moore is doing pretty well. She suffered some bumps and bruises, and tonight she's dealing with some shoulder pain. But all in all, She's just thankful that someone came to her aid. Back to you. We shot this video 10 days ago, but we're waiting until now to do this story because we wanted to get all sides from the police and from the man you're about to listen to.
My only intention was just to go get lunch.
But last week, Arthur Green got something else.
Don't touch me. No.
We captured this altercation last Tuesday while covering a protest outside of Senator Rob Portman's office at the Huntington building. Our camera wasn't rolling before this incident, so we went to Columbus Police looking for answers on what led to Officer Sean Pagliano pushing Green. No one would talk on camera, so we requested a use of force report. The document identifies Green as the suspect and says he entered a secured area. It adds, Officer Pagliano told listed suspect repeatedly that he could not come through the area. Listed suspect became argumentative and was shouting at Officer Pagliano and continued to try and push by. Green says that's not true, and the aggressor was the officer.
It seemed like he wanted an altercation instead of an explanation.
A supervisor's review in the use of force report says the building owner stated no one but employees were allowed on the property. Green is one of those employees, so why was there a problem? The report says if Green had identified himself, there would have been no problems. I showed the report in our video to Green. He says he entered the secured area to avoid protesters. Once there, he says he did identify himself.
The officer and I both identified ourselves the same way. We both had our badges on.
The report concludes the pushes by Officer Pagliano are within policy requiring no further action. Eventually, Green was allowed to keep walking, but his experience with one of Columbus's finest left a bad impression.
He is supposed to protect and defend us against enemies, not treat us like we're enemies. And that's how I felt like I was treated.
Now, Green told me today that he plans on contacting Internal Affairs at the department about what happened last week. Reporting live downtown, I'm Bryant Maddrick, ABC 6 News. Baseball is called America's pastime. But before the game, the people who make this country great were remembered and honored. Like Perella served in World War II.
We were part of the greatest generation. 16 million of us put on a uniform and destroyed Nazism and Japanese imperialism.
Throwing out the first pitch at tonight's Clippers game, the 95-year-old represents those who are no longer here.
I'm the only one left.
On the 75th anniversary of D-Day, honors were held on the ground and in the air. These warbirds taking part in this ceremonial flyover. Before the event, we caught up with the pilots.
We're honoring the 160,000 souls that gave their lives for our freedom and liberty today, and the 126 warships that went down today.
Timothy Wildman Wild is the lead pilot.
Being part of formation flights and honoring our fallen soldiers, this is what it's all about, giving back.
Pilot Jim Wilson of Columbus knows what it means to give back. He's a retired Air Force fighter pilot and veteran of Vietnam and Desert Storm. I asked him what he hopes the people in these seats think about as they fly above.
I just want them to have pride in their country, pride in all their military and all the fine folks that make up, you know, the military and everything that they try to do.
A proper tribute on the ground and in the sky for the greatest generation. Outside Huntington Park, I'm Bryant Maddrick, ABC 6 News.